So we're gonna scoot on over. I love this set, and actually I loved it before I even bought it. It just really popped off the page for me. And so here are 5 examples of cards made with this suite. And these are beautiful cards that you can create. So that's 5 ideas right there for you. So over on this page, we've got the designer paper, which I'm going to show you close up. You've got the bundle here, that's the stamp set and the dies. We've got the plush poinsettia paper, beaded pearls, and the real red sheer ribbon. And you're gonna see all of this in just a second. And then over here, you're going to notice that you can purchase the stamp set separately as well as the dies, or you can bundle these two and save 10% right up here. Okay, so there's the bundled item number and price, which the item number is 155148 and the price is $56.50, okay, in US dollars. All right. Okay, so now let me show you what they really look like. So this is the stamp case, and first, the stamped images are much larger than what's on the case. They just kind of had to cram everything in here on the front cover, so it's reduced in size. The images are actually at 65% on the insert. Now, you're going to, I love the font, and it looks like there are 5 greetings. All right, so you've got greetings here. And then you're going to notice that here's one poinsettia right here, okay? And then we've got 3 here. These 3 ladies are different sizes, and you can layer those flowers on top of each other, okay? So I'm gonna show you how to do that tonight. Then you've got 2 holly leaves. These are 2 different sizes. And this is like pine needles and a pine cone. And these are like berries, all right? Like holly berries, okay? So that's what the stamp set looks like. And this is what the die set looks like, okay? So you can tell that, you know, we've got some poinsettias right along here, but sometimes it can be really hard to see what you're getting. So I'm going to show you this, and you actually might even want to do a screenshot of this. Let me zoom out in case you do want to do a screenshot, or if you want to take a picture of it. These are the poinsettia dies. Hey, Amanda, good to see you tonight. So here's that one poinsettia I was telling you about that you stamp and cut out. Here, the holly berries. You also get this sprig. Now that's not a stamped image, but you do get the die for cutting that out. This right here, that's the pine needles and the pine cones. So you stamp that and then cut it out with the dies. And then here's a holly leaf. Here's a holly leaf stamped. But do you also see the holly leaf that is embossed? It may be hard to see because it's in garden green. Do you see the embossing on the holly leaves? I hope you can. Then you get 2 small poinsettias, and these also are embossed. And I just don't know if you're going to be able to see that embossing just with the lighting and stuff. I'm sorry about that. Then we've got our 3 size poinsettias right here, small, medium, and large. So you can stamp and cut them out. You can also just emboss them. So there is an embossing die to emboss the poinsettias. You might be able to see that embossing there, okay, on that large poinsettia, excuse me. All right, so that's what they look like. And I'm gonna go back to the dies and I'm gonna show you something. So these dies are really cool. This works for all 3 poinsettias and the 2 hollies, okay? So you can stamp and you can cut them out, okay? You can also emboss. Now let me see. Let me do it this way first because these flowers are like a puzzle. You keep turning the die until you find where it fits the flower, okay? So there's the die there. This is the embossing piece, all right? So you can take this, and I wonder if that'll work. Yep. You can do this at the same time. Not only are you cutting it out, but you're embossing it in one roll of the cutting machine. And then you get that embossed look. Now, you can also stamp. And let's get this one right now. Let's see how this one goes. See how this is like a puzzle? You just keep turning. I've stamped it, so now I'm cutting it out, and look. I can also emboss this. Stamp, cut, and emboss. All in one roll of the Stamp and Cut Emboss machine. All right? So not only can these be stamped, cut out, but they can be embossed. And you can do the very same thing with the holly. And as a matter of fact, let me show you the holly. I'll just show you one of them. All right. So here, you can stamp the holly, cut it out, and you can also emboss it just like that. All right. And you also get it for the large piece of holly too. And I did forget to tell you this. These two little dies here, these are for the center of the flowers. So here's one of them, and then here's the embossed center. All right. So the dies really have quite a few purposes depending on what look you're going after. I do too, Brenda. Brenda says, I like that it can cut and emboss at the same time. I do too, Brenda, because that saves us time. Just like it did when we did the Love of Leaves about a month ago, the same kind of thing. So, I mean, think about it. Our dies have really come a long way since we first started crafting with the Big Shot, you know, like 10, 15, 20 years ago. So I think it's been more like 10 years ago. All right. Okay. So I'm going to move that, and now I want to show you the beautiful paper, okay? So here's one of the sheets here. And by the way, these come 12 by 12. So here's the holly. And when you flip it over, you have this geometric design, okay? Hey, Simone, I'm glad you're taking a break and joining us. Here's another piece of the poinsettia paper. See the pine cones and the greenery? All right, and then here's this side. I love this piece of paper, by the way. It's one of my favorites. And here's the pine cone paper. And if we flip this side over, we've got pine needles and pine branches, I guess. Oh, here's that piece again. And that's the pine again. Did I not bring all my paper over here? I don't think I did. Here's another piece of paper here. Isn't this pretty? And then you've got pine cones on the back. Ooh, Mary Kay says, I put a black sharp marquee on the insert emboss piece and the outer die once lined up to help with aligning them together. Oh my God, why did I never think of that, Mary Kay? Oh my gosh, that is an excellent idea. And that way you're not turning all the time. So if you mark one little area on the petal and then mark it again on the embossing piece, then they're easy to line up. That is so awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Toddy says, Tammy, you should ask Stampin' Up! To pay you to make tutorials for all the sets. I know, Toddy, it takes me a while to figure out what all the little pieces are. And to be perfectly honest, ladies, when I look at this, I really don't know what I'm getting. And so that's why I like to stamp, cut out, emboss, try and figure out all these little things so that I can share those with you. Because it doesn't look like much here, does it? But then when you bring this out, you see all the possibilities. So yeah, thank you, Toddy. Thank you for the compliments. Very sweet. Irma says, I have a hard time with the poinsettia because I've never had them in my house because they're very toxic to pets. You are right about that, Irma. But I do love the DSP. So Irma, invest in the DSP and it won't harm your pets at all, right? There is one more piece of designer paper and I forgot to bring it over here. Or do I have it here? Hang on, let's see if I have it here. Here's another one of the pieces right here. And then you can flip it over and you have the wood grain. So ladies, this is some really, really pretty paper. I think I have bought like 3 or 4 packs of this. By the way, this is on sale. It retails for $11.50 and I think it's on sale for $9.48. So this is something you need to add to your order. Okay. Now there's also another package of paper and it's our Plush Vellum. Now, with the Plush Vellum, these sheets come 12 by 12, okay? So here's one of the sheets, and I'll hold that up. Do you see this poinsettia right here? Poinsettia, excuse me. There's a die that cuts it out, ladies. Yep, one of our dies cuts this out, okay? So you get 2 of these sheets in 12 by 12. And then you get 2 of these sheets in 12 by 12. Love this stuff, Sue. It's amazing. You see this holly branch? The holly leaf? You can cut that out with the die, okay? So there you go again. Another one of her dies. And then you also get 2 12 by 12 sheets of this. And this is like a geometric pattern or a mosaic pattern. Isn't this pretty? So it's just beautiful. It's vellum. When I attach it to card bases, I usually put a glue dot in each corner and then attach it to the card base, and that will take care of it, okay? So yeah, that's some really pretty stuff. So that's the papers. I'm gonna move this out of the way. And let's see, what is next? Oh, let me show you the embellishments. We're gonna use the embellishments tonight. This is the Real Red Sheer Ribbon, all right? And then these are the Beaded Pearls. These could be earrings, by the way, all right? They are very, very pretty. I tell you what I like about this. You get 18 in a package. So if you're a demonstrator and teach classes, there's a lot of mileage with this embellishment because there are 18 in here, okay? So those are the Beaded Pearls. All right, well, let me show you what we're creating tonight, okay? I am back doing my stacked books. So if you missed last month when we made some fall books, we're gonna do Christmas ones tonight, okay? And yes, this is going to be a prize, all right? So it's going to be really difficult for me to mail, but I'm going to try and do it. I'll mail them. They won't be stacked when I mail them. So anyway, but yeah, so we are going to create these books tonight. I'm going to show you what the books look like in case you don't know. And then we're going to embellish with some words. Let me show you where the words are coming from tonight. They're from Itty Bitty Christmas, and this is a stamp set that was out last year, and it did carry over. Ladies, I'm thinking this is in the annual book, if somebody wants to confirm that for me, but I think it's in the annual book. Itty Bitty Christmas. I used it a ton last year, and you can see that I've used it tonight as well. All right, so it's a really good, it's like 18 Christmas greetings in here. Thanks, Mary Kay. I know, aren't the pearls beautiful? And then I'm going to show you how to embellish this tag right here. All right, see that? So there's the tag. Yes, you could, Gail. Gail, I have been using these beaded pearls so much that I'm hoping I have enough beaded pearls for Saturday for class. I may be taking them off my projects and giving them to y'all. Here is a cute little note card that we're going to make this evening. All right, and it's just a 3 by 3. All right, thank you. Yes, Carol, I hope you win these tonight, and I'll bring them to you Saturday for class. All right, so I'll just show you the books real quick. These are from the Target Bullseye Dollar Aisle. They're Halloween books. They open. We did figure out last month when we embellished these that cards, standard note cards will fit in here, okay? Those standard greeting cards that we make will fit in here. This would also be great for a gift card. We're going to be embellishing this. And by the way, I was in Target this morning. They had 9 of these. So I got them all, okay? So it may not be too late for you to look at your Target. Here is another design right here. I think they're like 3 different designs, all right? I know Simone wants them all. I know. Oh gosh, I wish I had enough for everyone. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do tonight is I am actually, I'm gonna show you some different poinsettias, okay? All right, and I have to tell you, growing up as a child, I called a poinsettia a poinsettia, which is, I know, not pronounced correctly. So I'm trying to say it correctly tonight, and I believe it's pronounced poinsettia. Okay, so I want to show you how I created this card right here, because we're going to make another one of these tonight, but the poinsettia is going to be a different color, okay? So you might want to write down a few color combos, all right? Yes, Joanne, I did hear that the Dollar Tree has them. Yes. Oh, that's sad, Irma, that you don't have a Target in Canada. That's terrible. Hi, Joyce. Welcome. Okay, so I'm going to show you, let's start with, I'm going to show you how to make this poinsettia first, all right? And I'll even zoom in a little bit. I want you to have this color combo. Now, you might be saying, Tammy, this is a color combo that I would not think of for Christmas. So where did you get the idea? And ladies, the idea came from this paper. This is where my color combination came from, okay? So that's why I created the tag to coordinate with it, all right? Thank you, Pam. Itty Bitty Christmas, item number 150513, and it's page 62, all right? And I love this set. You could store keepsake cards. Oh my gosh, Melissa, what an awesome idea. And we all have those, right? We do. Yay, I'm glad Cindy got you some, Joyce. Okay, so when I create these poinsettias, I use all three sizes. All right, we've got the little size, we've got the medium size, and then we've got the large size, all right? And I'm going to ink this in early espresso. All right. Ooh, I did a terrible job on that. Let me get my pad. All right. Let me get my pad and we shall start over. All right, let's ink this up. This is a photopolymer stamp, and so it doesn't have rubber on it for cushioning. So sometimes you need that padding underneath. All right. I am also stamping on a folding table, not a wood table. So that also makes a difference. Now here's our medium. And I could probably cut this out, but I'm pretty close. I should have spaced it out a little bit more. Now this is our small poinsettia. And girls, I have been using this stamp set so much. My blocks are just so dirty right now. Okay, so that's the first part, all right, that we're creating just by stamping the 3 poinsettias, all right? So I'm gonna close this so that I don't, you know what, I'm gonna do one more thing. I am going to stamp these berries and I'm going to stamp them right there, okay? Because I want to show you how to stamp that too. All right, now we're going to use Bumblebee. This is actually one of the coordinating colors for this suite, and so is Early Espresso, all right? Now, there is one stamp in the stamp set for shading the poinsettias, all right? And believe it or not, this shading here will fit all 3 flowers. So I'm going to ink this up in Bumblebee, and you want to position the shading so that it's over those veins of the leaf. So this is the vein that I'm talking about. You kind of want to center your shading on top of that. And I'll zoom in a little closer. And then I'm going to do the same here. All right, I'm a little off there. So when you are using this to stamp, you are going to want to turn this, it's like a puzzle, until you get it just in the right spot, okay? So that's how I created this flower right here, all right? So that is Early Espresso ink and Bumblebee, and I did that to coordinate with the paper. Now with the berries, there's also shading for this one. And this block is really too big for the berries, but it's really the only thing I had left. So I'm just going to position this so that I can do the shading on the berries. And I did that in Bumblebee as well. All right, so that's how you do that color. Okay, now something else that I usually do when I'm stamping flowers and I know I'm going to make several cards or projects with the poinsettia, I will go ahead and cut them. I'll stamp, cut them out, and then I'll just put them in little baggies. So do you see these 3 poinsettias in this branch? They're in this bag, okay? So next time I pull out my stamp set, this is inside, and I've got some poinsettias ready to go. So what I'm trying to say is when you're stamping, when you're creating some of the flowers, stamp a gazillion of them, and then when you go to open that stamp case the second time around, you have flowers all ready to be put together, and that'll save you a lot of time, all right? Okay, now our next one, and actually I think the next one we're going to actually make the project. So let me show you some samples, okay? Here is a card sample right here. Love this paper, ladies. It's one of my faves. This is, and you might want to write this down, it's real red cardstock, real red ink, all right? And so I inked the poinsettia in real red ink and stamped it onto real red cardstock. The same with the holly leaves. They are inked in garden green, and then they're stamped on garden green cardstock, all right? And so this is a card that I made, all right? So that's with the real red flower, all right? And again, I'm using all 3 sizes on the flowers, okay? Thank you, Pam, thank you. All right, now we're doing this in Hostess Club. So Gail and Carol, you're gonna be really surprised this Saturday, okay? Or excited, because this is what you're making in class. So here is a So Saffron poinsettia. So this one I inked in So Saffron ink. I stamped it onto the So Saffron cardstock, okay? And this is garden green again for the holly leaves. And then I just added a sprig right there. And then I've got gold cording underneath. Now, this is actually a gift card holder, all right? And if you all would like, I'd be so happy to show you how to make it next Wednesday night. right? Okay. But yeah, I could have used real red, and I chose the So Saffron. I could even have done a bumblebee poinsettia, but that would have been super bright. But I want you to look. I'm using the very same layout, if you think about it. I created this card, and then I converted this one to a gift card holder. So it's basically the very same design, all right? But yeah, if you're in one of my clubs, this is what you're making, all right, this weekend. And I'm gonna give you all the measurements, and then you'll be able to make oodles of them, okay? And I'll probably make that with you ladies next Wednesday night if you would like, all right? All right, so there's that one. I have another card to show you. And this one, my poinsettia, is done with a Whisper White cardstock base, all right? You can see here I've used the holly to the holly vellum as a layer on the cardstock card. Thank you, Melissa, thank you. Here's the real red poinsettia with the garden green holly leaves. And I've just put that together. Now let me show you where this card came from. This was the inspiration for this card. And it is actually this card back here, okay? So I actually just copied from the catalog. And actually, it has one of those little clocks, which means that it's super fast to make, and it really was super fast to make. Thank you, Simone. Thank you. Yeah, so it's kind of like a candy cane poinsettia. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, well now we're going to get started, and I'm going to show you how to make this flower tonight, okay? So our books are going to look different, and our 3x3 card will look different, okay? But that'll give you 2 more ideas for this bundle, okay? And ladies, if you currently are not working with the demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator, and you can purchase this in my online store. Okay, well let's go ahead and get started. And let me, if you all don't mind, I'm going to clean these stamps and then we'll get our stamping done, okay? So let me clean these up really good because we're changing the ink color. All right. And I have been using these for the last week, so my blocks, everything has gotten really dirty now. Once class is over, I will take them and clean them up. I'm going to clean the holly here. And I've got, nope, I'm not done. I've got another piece here. All right, thank you. I'm glad you like the cards. They're really, really fun to make. Okay. I think we've done that. And so I'm trying to decide where to start. Let's go ahead and we'll get our stamping done, okay? All right, and I'll put this under here. All right, so to get started, we're going to use real red, okay? All right. And then I don't know why I always start with the large flower instead of the small one. I don't know why, I just do. But it doesn't matter. Okay, so there's my largest one. And now we'll do the medium one, the medium size. And now we'll do the smallest one. And this is real red. You could also use cherry cobbler. Oh, Sally, I didn't even think about the cleaning of stamps. Oh my goodness. See, sometimes I forget. I was a beginner at one time too. So I do remember those days and not knowing everything. So I'll show you again in a minute how to clean the stamps. Now for this one, you know what? I didn't want to use red. So I'm going to show you right now how to clean it. For this berries, I'm going to do an early espresso ink here, and then we're going to shade it in green. All right. So we've got the 3 poinsettias, and now we're going to get berries, and we want 2 sets of berries. So there's one, and I'll put one up here since I have a line. All right. I got a line there. I rocked the stamp. Okay, so we need those. And then let's go back. I'm trying to remember. Hang on one second. I'm trying to remember how I'm changing this up a bit, so hang tight a minute. Okay. All right, we're going to have red berries. All right. So I'm inking this in the real red, and then I'm going to line it up. There's my berries. And we're going to do that again. All right, aren't they pretty? And we still need real red because now we're going to go back and we're going to do some shading. All right, and I'll go ahead and I'll start with this little flower. I really like the fact that this one poinsettia shading fits all 3 flowers. I think that's pretty cool. Yes, you need a chamois. Absolutely, they're the best. All right. Isn't that pretty? Toddy, I love that. Tap the baby, but don't rock the baby. That is awesome. I've got to remember that. All right. So ladies, here are our flowers. Aren't they beautiful with the shading? I just love it. Love it. Okay. Well, guess what? I'm going to be bringing in the Big Shot and my Stamp and Cut Emboss machine. You know our new machine? My new machine is in Richmond because I taught a class there last night. And I left it there because I'm going back to teach another class, okay? So we're gonna use the Big Shot tonight. It was just less for me to carry out to the car last night, okay? This table's probably gonna shake a bit because it is a folding table. Let's get those dies. All right, so let's start with this large one here, okay? Now, the very first time I tried to line this up, it took some practice, but the more you do this, the easier this will become. But what I like to do is, I like to just keep turning it. It's like a puzzle, all right? So you just keep turning until you find the right petal, and that might be it. All right, that is it. Okay, I'm gonna back this out a little bit. I'm gonna see if I can go ahead and get the medium one done. All right, so I'm just turning, just trying to find the right fit. And that actually might, is that it? No, that's not it. This is it. All right, now this does want to wiggle, so in that case, I'm not going to use it right now. I just want to get this one cut. So I will take my cutting pad. This is where I wish I had my Stamp and Cut Emboss machine because the dies don't wiggle. They do not wiggle when you go to put them on the platform. So my classes that I teach are in Mechanicsville, Virginia. All right, so you're not too far from Mechanicsville, so you might want to check us out. All right. So that's the large one. I'm going to go ahead and put that die back. And let's do the medium one. All right. All right. But I'm doing this tonight because I want you to see what, you know, how to cut these out, okay? It's important for you to know that. All right. All right, and we're gonna go again. Gail says, for the ones of us with indoor pets, we could make a bunch of poinsettias, put them on sticks, and down in a vase, like, oh yes, like we did with those butterfly table decorations a few years ago. Gail, you are so right. Simone wants me to come to Orlando. I would love to come to Orlando, Simone. Do you want me to move there? All right, so that's our medium. All right. I'm just glad you found me, Simone. How about that? All right, and now we're gonna do our little one. And what I might, sometimes I do this just to get rid of that extra Whisper White paper and just get it out of the way. All right, and this is our littlest one now. And again, look how I'm turning it. You just keep turning until it fits, and that does not fit. Ha-ha. All right, very good. Now I've got this one other. Do you possibly think this would work and not wiggle on me? Ha-ha. Now I can cut two at one time. And I gotta straighten up my cutting pads. All right. Yeah, if I had the Stampin' Cut embossing machine, everything would stay in its place because I have the magnetic pad now. And then it would work a little bit fast. Look what happened. Look what just happened. It moved. So ladies, we might be doing another one. All right, let's go ahead and get this done. So sorry about that. All right, yes, road trip, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to cut these berries right here, and then we will stamp another poinsettia. All right, sorry about that. All right, here we go. We'll quickly do this one. Oh, I'm so glad, Simone. I'm really glad. Thank you. You know, ladies, if you ever feel inclined to do so, please leave a review about my Facebook Lives. Leave the review on my Facebook page, my Be Creative Stamping Facebook page, because people do read those. And that's like the highest compliment that you could ever give me, all right? So yeah, please leave a review. All right, let's stamp this one more time. And I'm thinking I can fit it in this little spot. All right, so let me find the medium. That was a small, wasn't it? I need my small flower for that. Okay. So, real red. Right there, and then the shading. All right. There we go. Like I said, you all would not believe my table tonight. I have stuff everywhere, just tons of stuff. Okay, last thing for us to cut tonight, okay? I promise, I hope. I can't promise because it may not turn out again. All right, so let's see, does that work? No, let's keep turning again. I think this one might do it. All right. I don't think that fits either. There we go. There it is. That's our last one. All right. And we'll just roll this right on through. All right, and it did not move this time, so now we can continue on with class. Okay, I'm sorry about that. All right. All right, so let me roll this here, and then we'll move the big shot out of the way. Okay. All right, now we're ready to go ahead and we're gonna put our books together, all right? And then we'll embellish the tag, and I'm gonna show you how to do that, all right? That's right, happy stamper, absolutely. Yes. Okay. All right, so I chose 3 different papers tonight, and we're going to create a different tag, and that's going to give you more ideas, all right? Instead of just having one book idea, you'll have lots. So 2 ways to do this. You can actually put your adhesive on your paper and cover the book, or you can put the adhesive on the book. I've done it both ways, and I'll do it both ways for you tonight, okay? I'm going to use Stamp & Seal Plus. This is a much heavier adhesive, and you want to use this adhesive when you're creating 3D projects, okay, for sure. So for the first one, I am just going to just add it right along this box. All right, so that's what I'm doing right now. Just adding adhesive, just gliding it across. And I'll even put a little snippet there, all right? Now, I need to tell you about your measurements, all right? Whoops, but don't sit this on here. Gracious. Okay, so the measurements for your designer paper is 6 inches, okay, by 9 7/8 of an inch. So I really can't show you that because my ruler goes to 8 inches. But I did write it down. It is 6 by 9 7/8 inches. Okay? Yeah, you'll have to check, Brenda. Also, I'm giving you the measurements for the Target books. If you find the books at Dollar Tree, it may be a different size, and you'll have to measure that book to know what size to cut your designer paper, okay? So keep that in mind. All right, so I am going to add the holly paper right along this book. All right, just like that, okay? And then I'm just gonna rub because that adhesive will just stick to the paper. All right, now I'm gonna roll this over the spine of the book, and I'm just gonna rub, I'm kind of putting those score lines in there, okay? Okay, and I'll even, I don't know why I put the top back on my Stampin' Blend. I'm gonna definitely put some adhesive there, and I'll even run some on the spine. All right, and then I'm just gonna rub that across. Just be sure to measure your book to figure out which designer paper you need, okay? What size designer paper you need. Okay, so now I'm gonna run the Stamp & Seal across here. Now, if you don't have Stamp & Seal, use tear and tape. All right, that's another strong adhesive. We still sell it, and it comes in a roll like this. This is tear and tape, okay? So that is another good option. All right, we are now going to finish covering our book, okay? All right, and now our first book is done. Okay, so that's number 1. Then we're going to cover another one. We're using these 2 pieces, so we're going to do the wood grain. This time, I will go ahead and put the Stampin' Seal along the edges of the paper, okay? And we'll see which way we like better. I think I'm going to like it the other way better, to be perfectly honest. But we'll see. All right, so now we've added that. And this is how the book opens. Wouldn't these be cute to, you know what? I meant to show the wood grain, and I ended up putting the adhesive on the wood grain. So on this one, we'll put the adhesive on the berries. Okay, sorry about that. All right, I'm gonna move this closer to me. And I think these would be great little gifts, and put gift cards in it and give as gifts. Let me tell you, this is also great just to sit on a bookshelf or just for decorating. I'm using the fall one we made downstairs in one of my fall decorations. So definitely do that. All right, so there we go there. I'll just go ahead and add some here just for the fun of it, just because it's fun to glide that stamp and seal. Okay, so I'm making sure that I'm rounding that corner really well. And now, let's see if I can position this a little bit better. All right, and sometimes, ladies, I already know that my measuring the paper is correct. So honestly, this is just the book, you know. This is just the book. It's not as straight as my paper is. And if you look here, you can kind of see some of the paper. Let's see if I can do that so you can see. See that paper there? I'm going to get rid of that. I am going to take my paper snips, take your scissors, and just trim along the edge. Let the blade rest on that box and just cut along. All right, and then you get rid of it. Okay, because the books are not perfect. I can guarantee you my measurement is, you know, probably spot on, but the books aren't perfect, so you may find the designer paper doesn't fit as well. So this is what we have so far. Okay, all right, good night, Simone. Thanks for joining us. Thank you so much. Now for our last book, we want the wood grain to show. Okay, I'm going to go back and I'm going to do the book. I kind of like doing the book. I honestly don't remember what we did a month ago with the Gilded Autumn designer paper. I just don't even remember. All right. Now you put some there. Okay. All right, so this is our next one. Make sure the book is opening. And I can already tell this book is a little lopsided. So, I mean, we're going to make it work, but anyway. All right, so now we've got that. Yeah, you do find that, Gail, with the books because they're just, I mean, you know, they're just not perfect. All right. And here goes this, rounding that edge. Let's go ahead and we'll put some here. Now, Gail, when you did your books, and others of you, when you did your books, which adhesive did you use? Did you use the Stamp and Seal Plus? Did you use tear and tape? What do you prefer? All right. Oh, thank you, Sue. See, Sue, I couldn't remember. I mean, I made this a month ago and I just couldn't remember. I like putting it on the book too. It's easier. All right, so I'll try not to forget that. Okay, I love doing this because it is a great way to show off this beautiful designer paper, you know, and then you've got a home decor piece for decorating. So that's why I like doing it. All right. So that is our third and final book right there. And now what we're going to do is, and this is my my thought here. I thought we would group them like this, okay? So let's go ahead and let's do our little tags. So Joanne you probably used the Tombow liquid glue, right, Joanne? And Sue and Gail used the Stamp and Seal Plus. Very good. All right, I'm getting out 3 pieces of paper, okay? These 3 pieces are for the spines of all 3 books. So let me measure this for you. I cut mine at a 1/2 inch, and they are 3 inches long, okay? Okay. And then I'm going to take the banner Pick-a-Punch, and this is in the mini. It's item number 153608. And I'm going to use this little, you probably can't see it, but I'm going with the little fishtail. And I'm going to insert this paper as far as it will go. And then I've got my cute little fishtail. I'm going to do the same for this one. You can stamp first and then punch, or you can punch and then stamp. So check this out. I obviously did not have it in the guide correctly, so let me try again. And there we go. That's much better. And then this is the last one. All right. Yeah, when you use the liquid glue, you do get the wiggle room. Absolutely, I totally agree with that. So that is another smart way to do it for sure. All right, ladies, so these are all done. And we're gonna use Early Espresso to stamp our greetings. And the first one I'm gonna do is going to be peace and happiness, okay? All right. And hopefully I will have this straight. All right, so that one's peace and happiness. Now I'm gonna show you something, all right, because I'm out of blocks, and so we're gonna reuse the very same block. We're gonna use this putty knife, all right? So let me find the stamp set, which is Itty Bitty Christmas, okay? And I need to clean it. And then I'm going to put it away. And so I take my putty knife and I lift right under that stamp to pull it off. And it makes it super, super easy, okay? Now our next word is going to be, let's do celebrate the season. So when I take this stamp set off, again, I'm using the putty knife. I'm gonna lift under there to pull it off, okay? And then we're gonna stamp our second one. So that's celebrate the season. Now I'm going to clean it. And this one came right off the block. And our last one is going to be blessed Christmas wishes. And this one's peeling off. It's because I've recently used it. Here's our last one here we're gonna do. All right, so those three are done. And I do like to pop these up on the spines. So we'll do that. I think I'm gonna go, do I want this order or do I want this order? I think I want this at the top, okay? So this will be celebrate the season. And let's get some dimensionals here. I'm gonna use the minis. I probably could use a standard one. All right. You all let me know if you have any questions. You've gotten really quiet, okay? So hopefully I have not bored you. Bess, you're right. These would make super nice little gift boxes. I'm going to make some more of these. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm centering it on the spine, just like that, okay? Now the next one, we'll do peace and happiness. It doesn't matter. It's whatever you prefer, all right? It's your preference. And while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and get some dimensionals on this last banner. Remember, the banner is a 1/2 inch by 3 inches. All right? All righty. So peace and happiness is going to go right here, like that. And then we're going to do blessed Christmas wishes. And we'll put it about right there. Oh, thank you, Joyce. Joyce, I'm just glad you're still here. Okay, so all three are done. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna wrap the ribbon, all right? So we're using the, if I can find it, oh, here it is. Okay, we're going to use this real red sheer ribbon. It is part of the suite, okay? All right. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to wrap it like this. And I'm trying to figure out about how much ribbon I want, okay? That ought to do it. This is fun to tie. It is super easy and fun to tie. All right. And I'm going to tie a bow. All right. Now you could put glue dots between the books, and that way they would stay together while you're tying a bow. But I actually want to reuse these. I want to, you know, put gift cards and things in them. So, all right. So that's our little bow. I'm going to cut this on the diagonal. Whoops. Okay, I think I'll cut a little bit more off there. So now we have that part, and we're going to create the tag together. Let's see. And I have all of that packaged. Here we go. Now this shape right here, I want to show you where it's from. It's from Tasteful Labels, and this is the shape that I used, okay, just so you know, all right? Gail wants a ton of the ribbon. And Joanne says, I'm making flowers out of dyed coffee filters for my grandson's birthday. Oh, cool. That's really neat, Joanne. And you love spoiling your grandkids. And ladies, I just hope I have some grandkids one day that I can spoil. I am with you there. That's awesome. What great memories. I'm going to go ahead and punch a hole here. This is a Fisker's hole punch, but a standard hole punch, whatever you have at home, will work just fine, okay? All righty. Now, I've already taken the time. You know, we've made these flowers. So, I want to show you, let's start with the largest one first, okay? Here's our largest one. Tracy says it's Thursday morning here and I have to get to work. Oh, thank you, Tracy. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you. Okay, Gail. All right. Okay, so this is the poinsettia. All right, yeah, I'm right there with you, Gail. I know what you're talking about. I like to break up the fibers in the petals. And so what I do is I take the bone folder, all right, and I just kind of curl these a little bit, okay? And I'll even curl them backwards or underneath, all right? So when they get on this tag, they're gonna be super easy for me to position, all right? And to move the petals if I want to, because I want them to be realistic looking and not flat, all right? So this will be our first poinsettia right here. Did you see how I put that on a dimensional? We're going to do the same here. Now this time, I know I want my middle flower to be turned upwards, all right? And then I'm going to put a dimensional right there. And then I'm going to position this so that I've got petals all the way around. Why don't I zoom in so you all can really see that? So there's the second one. Now I've got my smallest. And you don't want to tug too hard on the petals, okay? And I might even pull this one back a little bit. It just makes it super easy when they're all attached and you can move them around, all right? All righty, and then I will, whoops, I wasn't ready for you. There we go, all right? And then there is the last one. Now, let's go ahead and let's tuck in the berries, all right? I'm gonna use a glue dot, and I'm just kind of putting that glue dot on the back of the berries. And I'm gonna lay that right there. Now I'm putting my bone folder in there because I can rub that glue dot and get it to stick really well, okay? So we have one more of the berries. Again, I forget how close I am. And then, you know what, I think, where do we want to put it? Let me see. I think I'll put it right there, okay? All right. Now, one more thing to do. We're going to take this piece right here, and I think I'm going to go with Garden Green ink, and we're going to stamp the words. Now, where are my stamped words? Did I not bring them over here? Let's see. All right, ladies, I'm gonna run over to my stamping desk and I am going to get those words because they're so pretty. Okay. I did not see them, so maybe they're in my stamp set. Let's see. Aha, they are in the stamp set. I did not put them on a block. I'm going to use Warm Wishes from Our Home to Yours. All right. Okay. And then I'm going to ink that in Garden Green. And then I'm going to stamp it on the Whisper White paper. Okay, now let's measure this Whisper White in case you want to use this, okay? So this measures about 2 inches long and it's about a 1/2 inch wide, okay? My words, I'm telling you, if y'all could see this desk, you would be like, how in the world does she do anything? Because it's like messy tonight, very messy. All right, I am going to, I think we're gonna pop this up. All right, and then from there, we're gonna attach it. We will be attaching it. Let's see. Whoops, now I can't pick this up. All right. All right. So I'm just gonna put one dimensional on the back of this. And I kind of wanna just tuck this in. There we go. I'm going to do it like that. It probably needs to come down a little bit so that you can see the words better. And maybe what I can do, maybe I can do this. Put the petal underneath. Okay, something like that. And now we're going to add those pearls, okay? And I'll give you the secret on doing these. I use glue dots, but you can also use your liquid glue. And I just dropped it, so we'll grab another one. Okay, so here we are, we're just adding, and I'm just adding a glue dot to the back of each pearl. You can use liquid glue if you would like, okay? I'm gonna grab my linen thread, and I'm going to thread it through that hole. I'm going to bring in the books. What do y'all think? I wonder, me too, Joanne, and my space gets smaller and smaller and smaller. All right, I know, right? Live TV. All right. That's that linen thread there, and there we have it. Let me zoom out. All right, here's the top of our project right here, and then here is the side here. Okay, can you believe I'm gonna mail this thing to someone? All right, we're gonna quickly make the 3x3 card, which will probably take us like 6 minutes, okay, if you all can bear with me. I know I've kept you long enough. All right. I'll let you look at that while I try and find the stuff for my card. Where did I put that? All right, here we go. Alrighty. I'll move this out of the way. Now this is super simple to make, okay? This is 6 inches long right here. And it's 3 inches wide. And then we scored on the 3-inch line. So that's where you're gonna score, okay? Thank you, Mary Kay. I'm so glad you like it. You know I love making tags. This designer paper is measuring 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, okay? And we can go back to a regular seal. And we'll just add some adhesive along here. All right. And then we're going to center this right here, okay? And y'all know this part, okay? Because this is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna add this beautiful, beautiful poinsettia to this card front. All right, this one is already done. And we'll use a dimensional. I'm so glad you like it. I love making tags. Hey Pam, don't worry about that pearl. I will definitely, because you know I'm gonna be looking for it so that I can make another card. Ladies, I'm just kind of popping this up. I'm putting my thumb under here. All right, trying to make that, you know, 3-dimensional. And then this one I know I want turned up. So this is the middle flower, okay? So I hope you all learned something tonight about the poinsettia punch. For those of you who have it, have you worked with it yet? Have you tried to do some things? Yes, Mary Kay, I'm gonna bring it to you or Amanda, all right? I know one of y'all are gonna win it. So if you have the poinsettia bundle, have you used it yet? I'm just curious. I'm in love with it. I really am. I loved it a few years ago when the poinsettia punch was out. And now this is out and I just love it. All right, this is where a pearl goes, okay? And then you all know all about the berries because I've already shown you that. So I'm just gonna put that there. Isn't that pretty? I love these, it really. The holly leaves would also look really, really nice. Whoops, let's see how I want this. I can't, all right. Trying to just make sure that it is stuck to the card. All right, I might have to fool with that to get it just right. So pretend there's pearls. Okay, I need to save some of those pearls for Saturday's class. And then we are going to go ahead and we'll do Blessed Christmas Wishes since it's already on here. And I'm going to ink this. I'm gonna do the early espresso. Okay, just like I did with the book spine. And then we're going to use this punch here. This is the classic label punch. Guess what? It does not fit. So I guess we will go back to another one. Hang tight. We are going to put on Peace and Happiness, which is what I had on the original. Oh, yes, Carol. You could do this whole thing in Wink of Stella. Oh my gosh. Be so beautiful. Absolutely. You know what? We might have to do that. All right, so let's go back. And I'm going back to Early Espresso. I can stamp that anywhere on the paper that I want because we are going to punch it out. All right, and it's going right here. All right. Yeah, the berries would be super pretty like that. All right, let's get a dimensional here. And we'll just put it on the back, these words. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it about right there. All right, so that's peace and happiness right there, and pretend we have a beautiful flower there. Let's take that wink of Stella. Carol's right. These would be gorgeous. Give them a little glimmer. You could even do your entire flower. All right, so let me hold that up so maybe you can see that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do this one. Love that idea, Carol. Thank you.